I'd like to welcome everyone to this newest installment of Checkmate, Standing on Paper Route Business. Since we last spoke, Straight Drop has been convicted of murder. The murder of young Adolph Thornton, better known as Young Dolph. Now, things have really took a twist for the worse, it seems like, for Yo Gotti's crew. For, Big Jook, Govan Hernandez, Straight Drop, Derek with Washington, I believe. Things have really took a turn for them. Turns out that the initial shooter, he's turned snitch. I mean, who would have thought that? And he's implicated Big Jook, Hernandez, and Straight Drop, along with a few others. Turns out that Jook had a bounty on not just Dolph's head, but on the entire PRE, which is crazy, and different values for different artists, which is nuts. I mean, to me, a life is priceless, but in these streets, I guess they're worth, certain denominations. For example, they had 100,000 on Dolph. They had 50,000 on Key Glock, 50,000 on what's the guy, the PRE Woo, PRE Woo. Hell, they had 5,000 on Big Moochie Grape's head. Come on, man, how that gotta make you feel? Like, yo, damn, bro, can you at least put like 10 bands on my head? You know what I'm saying? Like, at least come at me with 10 bands. Don't just send the $5,000 boys in. Come on, man. That's crazy. But yeah, so they had the trial, and in Memphis it was a very speedy trial. I think their trial might have lasted 3 days, and in the course of 3 days, they convicted him. In the course of 3 days. The thing is, it was super easy to convict Straight Drop because, his co-D was on the stand telling everything. And they also had video to corroborate what he was saying. This dude jumped out with the Draco, man, and just started firing off at Dolph. He couldn't even control the gun. It showed him just firing off the gun all over the place. Justin Johnson, the one who just got life, he looked like he had a handgun by the time he got out of the car, because he was the driver. So by the time he pulled up and got out of the car and ran to the window, man, your boy Derek, whatever his name is, had already done all the work. Like, he had really done a lot of work with that fucking Draco. Now, Dolph had his brother with him, and his brother started squeezing off at those dudes, his brother Marcus. And he was squeezing off on them while they're shooting Dolph. The adrenaline was so high, those dudes didn't even know they were hit. They didn't even know they were hit. And then the video shows Marcus emptying the clip on them boys and then run out to go grab the AK. He shot that at them as well as they were leaving. So, when it comes to like being a stepper, PRE, those guys, they were definitely trying to handle theirs. And we all know what took place after Dolph's death and how much carnage took place in Memphis after Dolph's death. Well, now we're here during the legal process. We've got one convicted, and they've got several lined up for their cases. One being the guy Derek, who did the snitching on stand, and the other being Hernandez Govan or Govan Hernandez. Now, I believe it's gonna work its way up to Yo Gotti, because we all know how, the feds and all. We all know how they move. We know how law enforcement moves. If you don't know how law enforcement moves, let me inform you. So law enforcement, they're not just gonna spring on, with the first bit of information. They're gonna sit back. Once they get the information, they could already have you red-handed. But once they get the information, they're gonna sit back and watch you and see if they can pile on more. Because why move so quick? And if we would have waited a little while longer, hey, the guy would have added up 6 or 7 more charges and ended up, we could give him life. So I don't think Yo Gotti's completely out of the water. It's really quiet around him. We're not hearing anything about his name being mentioned in the courthouses, on the stands, anywhere. But the young man who was snitching, and I believe straight drop, both of their attorneys have been, paid $50,000. At least one of their attorneys been paid $50,000 by CMB, which is Yo Gotti's label. So you tell me, does that look like a Rico to you? Because to me it does. To me it definitely looks like a Rico. I mean, if you look back at the history, excuse the background, I'm outside doing this episode. But if you look back at the history of this beef between CMB and PRE, bro, they attacked Dolph and Charlotte at the CIAA. They attacked them in LA, or was that Beverly Hills? In Los Angeles, they attacked them. So if you ask me, and I'm just, looking at it from afar, it seems to me that there was money on Dolph's head for some years now. Because there were attempts on his life over and over the last several years. Even the little thing he got into with Black Youngster. And I believe that's the whole Charlotte CIAA connection is through Black Youngster. You can, and Black Youngster, he's off, I believe he's down in Atlanta right now, just laying low. But his guys got convicted of that, and he was a suspect. He didn't get convicted of anything, but he was a suspect. And there's plenty of video evidence, blogs and so forth, that show him, trying to set it with Dolph. I think I even seen one video where him and his crew pulled up into Castalia and had their guns and all types of shit out, like all the Bloods or whatever. Dude, you think that shit right there isn't sitting on the FBI's desk, bro? Really? I'm not even a federal agent and it's sitting on my desk. Right. I'm not even a federal agent and it's sitting on my desk. So I know it's sitting on their desk. You think they don't know that Yo Gotti signed Black Youngster? Big Jook is Yo Gotti's brother. Big Jook is the one who put the hit out, and he's Yo Gotti's brother. I mean, there's evidence that Dolph publicly was dissing Yo Gotti, CMB, and his brother on music. Yeah. So when they made this move, I'm sure it was thought out, but I don't think it was well thought out. because the hitter that they sent to go do this thing, one of them, I mean, they only gave him $800, bro. So you're gonna send somebody to kill somebody for $800, and you're only gonna give them $800 and expect them to be cool with it and expect them to keep a tight lip? Nah, I don't think so. So that's probably why the young man, started turning state's evidence, snitching. So yeah, in my opinion, I think the Rico is coming for CMB. The Rico is coming for Yo Gotti. His family, their name is definitely down in the criminal record books, because they've been selling dope and all down in Memphis, allegedly, for years. You guys can Google that and go on YouTube and check out a few videos on Yo Gotti's aunt's husband, so forth. But that's another video we'll probably get into in the weeks to come. But right now, PRE has still been riding, even amidst the trial. There's still people popping up unalived to this very day. So I think this thing is far from over. I think PRE has chilled a little bit while this trial is going on. And I believe it's still going to be turned right back up once this thing's over. They just gave Justin Johnson, aka Straight Drop, life in prison. That's heavy. So that being said, do you think he's going to keep a tight lip? You think he's maybe going to tell them a little bit more than what the last guy said? Even though the last guy, Derek, whatever, I think it's Derek Washington, whatever, he gave them all of the information. Cornelius Smith, that's who it is, not Derek, my bad. Cornelius Smith, that is the guy who was doing the snitching on the stand. That's the guy who's turning this thing into just a tell fest. And he's going to single-handedly bring down CMB. Yeah, CMB. Whatever Yo Gotti's record label name is, yeah, they're in for a world of hurt. Because the thing is, if the person at the bottom ain't happy, somehow, in some way, it's going to make the person at the top unhappy. Remember that. If your lowest employee is unhappy, it's going to work its way up to the top and affect the bottom line. So this thing with the young man snitching, Cornelius snitching on everybody, oh, it's gonna keep rolling. It's gonna keep rolling. Because right now I feel like Justin, Straight Drop, is probably feeling some kind of way right now. Because he's thinking, damn, I just got life. What they gonna get this nigga? He told on everybody. What they gonna give him? What kind of deal is he gonna get? And can I get my sentence reduced if I tell on somebody? Start realizing that, yo, dude, I'm never getting out of here, ever. Interesting. Which way is this thing gonna go? There's already been people taken out, like Joshua Taylor. He was taken out behind this thing. The other guy as well was taken. There's a few people who were taken out behind this thing. I mean, Dolph was loved. So, man, yeah, I think Yo Gotti need to be on the lookout. Lately, we've been seeing him and Angela Simmons on vacations, moving around a bit. Now I wonder what the move is now. You know, should he go to Bali with Russell Simmons? With his father-in-law? Oh, damn, can't go there. They just summoned him to court in New York. So they're hot on his trail there. I mean, what's he gonna do? I just say get your law team, your lawyers ready, and just be prepared, because Govan Hernandez can snitch. Cornelius could snitch. You know, Big Jook, we can't say Big Jook snitch. I mean, they got him out the way. Kind of seems like not Cornelius, but Gomez, what is these guys' names? Hernandez seems like he's the one who probably, Govan Hernandez seems like he's the one who's probably behind, Big Jook getting taken out of here. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're just going to try to keep up with what's going on, see where this case leads, who's next. We all kind of got an idea of what's been going on over the years. And we all witnessed them murdered off. So I believe that the hammer is going to be coming down on Yo Gotti. Things are going to be happening real quick. It may not be happening real soon. Once it starts, though, it's going to be really quick. This has been Checkmate.